For this lesson, we're going to start solving proportions. And a proportion is stating that two ratios are equal. And so the first ratio that I have is 2/4, and it's set equal to x over 8. And I need to solve for x. So when I solve for x, the first way that I can solve for a proportion is saying that what is happening to 4 to get to 8? Well, they're multiplying by 2. So I can take 2 times 2 to get me x, so x must equal 4. The same thing goes with our next example. What are they doing to 12 to get me to 36? Well, they're multiplying 36 by 3. And so I need to think of a number that's multiplied by 3 that could get me 9. So I can take the opposite of that, and 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So x must equal 3. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one on your own. So what is happening to 90 to get me to 15? Well, it's being divided by 6. So I need to take 66 divided by 6, and I'm going to get that b equals 11. What's happening to 9 to get me to 36? So think about that as you pause the video and try this one on your own. Well, 9 is being multiplied by 4. So I need to multiply 3.2 by 4. And I'm going to get 3.2 times 4 is going to get me that n equals 12.8. This example, we can still do the exact same method, so go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. 4 is being multiplied by 5, so what times 5 will give me 7. And so I'm going to think of the opposite of that. I'm going to do 7 divided by 5, because 20 divided by 5 gives me 4. So 7 divided by 5 actually equals 1.4. There are times where you can tell that two ratios in a proportion, you can't really figure out what was multiplied or divided by to get me to that other ratio. So I can't really tell what is 12 multiplied or divided by to get me to 14, or what is 14 multiplied or divided by to get me to 12. So there's something that we can call cross products. And so when I use cross products, I'm going to multiply what's called across from each other. So the first ones that I need to multiply are 14 and c together. And that's going to equal, when I multiply 7 by 12. And at whatever's on that numerator, whenever I do this cross product, I'm multiplying everything that's together. So I'm multiplying the 7 and the 12. So now I have 7 times 12. And from here, 14 times c gives me a 14c equals, and then 7 times 12 equals 84. And now I'm at a one-step equation in which I can divide by 14, because I want to isolate c, so c equals 6. Let's take a look at another example. I'm going to use cross products again. So 51 times m gives me 51m equals, and then 42 times 8.5 gives me 357. And then I'll divide by 51 on both sides. So m is going to equal 7. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one on your own. So I'm going to use cross products again. So I'm going to multiply W times 42, and I'm going to get 42W. And then 3 times 16 equals 48. And then I'm going to divide by 42 on both sides. And I get that W equals 1.1. And that's my final answer. The wait time to ride a roller coaster is 20 minutes when 160 people are in line. At this rate, how long will the wait time be when 230 people are in line? So my proportion or my ratio is that I have 160 people wait for 20 minutes. So what happens when I have 230 people? How long will they wait? Well, I don't know what the wait time will be, so I can just call that time X, and I have time on the bottom, so I'm going to put time on the bottom as well. So I have that, I'm going to just use cross multiplication again. So 160 times X gives me 160X, and then 230 times 20 gives me 4,600. So then when I divide by 160 on both sides, I'm going to get that X equals 28.75 minutes. And make sure that you put your units so that we know if you're talking about the minutes or the people, and so we're looking at the time, so I know that I have minutes. Alice's class is making care packages for a local shelter. They can make 8 care packages with 240 items, and then how many care packages can they make with 500 food items? So I'm going to set up another proportion. So I have 240 items for 8 care packages. Well, if I have 500 food items, how many packages would I have there? So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to use cross multiply. So I get 240x, and then 8 times 500 equals 4,000. So when I divide by 240 on both sides, I'm going to get that X equals 16.7 care packages. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one on your own. So for your proportion, we should have that there's $30 for 4 students, and I'm looking for how much would it cost for 20 students. So make sure that whatever you do when you set up a proportion, that the same units are on the top and the same units are on the bottom. So I have dollars, and I'm trying to find the dollars to 4 students to 20 students. So when I do 20 times 30, I'm going to get 600 equals 4x. And then when I divide by 4 on both sides, I get that X is going to equal 150, and so I'm looking for the cost, so I have $150. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. So I have Matthew paid $49.45 for 5 DVDs at a sale. How much would 8 DVDs cost at the same rate? So I have $49.45 for 5 DVDs, and I'm looking how much would it cost for 8 DVDs. And since I put DVDs on the bottom on this side, I need to put DVDs on the bottom over here. So $49.45 times 8 gives me $395.6, so 60, equals 5x. And when I divide that by 5, I'm going to get $79.12.